Hey guys, it's Paolo, and I am so excited because today I am talking to the legendary, the one and only Deidre Hall. Now, just like you, I have been watching her in Days of Our Lives forever, and today she's finally on a spoonful of Paolo, and I got so many questions. I'll see you guys with Deidre. So, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. Deidre Hall, from the bottom of my heart, honestly, thank you for being a guest on A Spoonful of Paolo. You have no idea how excited we were when your team confirmed it. So just thank you, really.
My pleasure. Can you hear that? I've got blackbirds.
Love it. Yeah. Well, you're outdoor. You're on your porch, so that's okay. It's natural, you know? Yeah. When I found out that you were going to be a guest on our show, I literally went through my memorabilia box. So I pulled out some things to show you how much I love you. And the first thing that came out was your doll. Okay, your doll that looks just like you still.
How did you get that? Because they're very hard to find.
Oh no, I had this for I think my mom gave it to me. It was like a stocking stuffer or something. So I've had this and it's so here it is. Nicely, it's still in the box. Your bouquet is in there. It just fell over there when I took it out of storage, but it's still here.
The shoes will fly around too.
And the other thing I found was also your book, this book, which over the weekend I made your chocolate and orange cake. That's one of your recipes in here. And I took a picture of it and that's what it came out with. See?
Good job, Paolo.
Thank you. Thank you.
Did you just get the one book or did you get both?
No, I have the other book too, but I think my mother stole it and it's at her house and she claims she doesn't know where it is, but I know my mother has it somewhere. So yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. I'll have to talk to her.
Yeah, please. Oh my God. No, don't call her because she'll keep you on the phone for 2 hours, my Italian mother. So I want to say congratulations to you because you have been on Days of Our Lives for over 40 years. Your first date was on June 21st, 1976. And I'm wondering, if someone came to you on that day, Deidre, and they said, Deidre, get ready because you're going to be on this show until at least 2021, what would you have said to them if they came up to you and said that?
Gosh, first of all, it would have been a dream come true. I had done Young and Restless at one point, and they had the semblance of what appeared from the outside to be a little family. And I went, I want some of that. I want a television family. And it wasn't what it appeared. But anyway, but then I went to Days and I said to my agent, I want to do a soap. He went, oh, get whatever. I said, no, I want a home. I want a place where I can have a phone and have a parking place and make friends. And Days came up and I love the character, really wanted the job. So I was beside myself.
Wow.
When I got that job, and I feel the same to this day. When I pull up into the security lot and my key card opens the gate, I think, all right, it's all gravy from here.
Wow, yeah, I've read about that. When you get up to the studio and you have your key card and the gate swipes, I was wondering, does Deidre Hall take this in that she's a part of this show that's been on for over 55 years, and that you are a huge part? So I mean, that's got to probably mean so much to you. To be a part of this cast, this legacy that, you are Deidre Hall and you played Dr. Marlena Evans and you are so loved. So I'm sure that's just a moment for you to take in, as that gate opens and you're driving into the studio, that's a big moment.
Thank you. And I'm not sure what happens when the gate opens. I'm just so relieved that it does. But yeah, the sense of the family and that I get to see my makeup and hair people and my co-stars and before COVID, we used to have a lot more time together because that was really lovely. I mean, just to catch up with Deidre and Armando and how their families are and just all that stuff. And now, of course, it's a little different, but it's still family.
I know. I think of family. I think of Marlena and John, one of the great super couples of daytime television. I mean, it's such a special couple that you don't see a couple like them anywhere else in any other daytime show. But what do you think it is about John and Marlena that makes people root for them to always succeed and stay together and be in love? What is it about them? Because I mean, I've been watching you since 1995. So it's and I'm always rooting for you guys to make it work and stay together. It's I feel like you're like my neighbor,
I think since we're family to you, I think we want that stability. Nobody wants to see, they don't want to see John and Marlena ever break up, and they don't want to see Marlena ever in jeopardy. Isn't that interesting?
Yes.
I didn't know that.
Yes.
And our head writer explained, I can't have you in jeopardy. People won't sit still for it. They won't? No, they won't. So I guess they're protective. We are the core of their family, and that's a great comfort right now when we can't even be with our own families.
Yeah, I remember, Deidre, when I came home from school, it was in 1995. My Catholic Italian mother, when I got inside the kitchen, she said, "You're never gonna guess what? What? Marlena's the devil." I said, "What? Marlena's the devil?" And I said, "Huh?" And since then, I have been watching you because there was something about that storyline that you, just like millions of other new viewers, in 1995, we just were watching because the storyline worked, because it's not your typical storyline in daytime television, but the way you portrayed it and the way it was written, it's just, when I was watching just some scenes again the other day, it just worked. Wouldn't you say it just worked for how everything came together?
We attracted an enormous young audience for that storyline, and which is terrific to have in soaps, because then we keep you for a while.
You did. You did.
But yeah, and here you are.
Here I am, 30 years later.
Jim Riley created that storyline, and so if you were watching, you know that leading up to the reveal that it was Marlena.
Yeah.
There was a lot going on in Salem, and Christmas trees were bursting into flames, and things were happening, and nobody knew, and we didn't know either. We had no idea what was happening. And I got called upstairs to the executive producer's office, who said, "It's you. What's me? It's you doing it. What am I doing? You're the devil."
Oh my God.
Great. And it was, and I said to Jim Riley at the time, I said, I love being in his capable hands, because he was always such a master. He knew the audience, and he was a devout, longtime Catholic, and he knew how to play that story. He knew how to write it, how to build it, how to reveal it, and boy, oh boy, it worked. Wow. It worked.
It sure did. I'm thinking right now, if you when you go to work tomorrow and the writers call you upstairs like, "Hey, Deidre, we're thinking," you're like, "Yeah, what are you thinking?" And they're saying, "Well, we're thinking of maybe bringing back, having Marlena possessed again." Would you say, "Oh, sure," or would you be like, "No"? Like, what would you, if they came up to you and said, "We want to do it again"? What would you say?
Well, first of all, Paola, that doesn't happen.
I know it. It's a soap opera.
Yeah. Okay. Well, but you know what? But to play as if it could, I don't think actors should have any say in story.
Yeah. Ooh, that's good.
Because we don't see ourselves clearly. We want to be pretty and loved and funny, and and that's not especially interesting. So I think what we do best is interpret the writer's words. What the writers do best is create something unusual the audience hasn't seen before.
Yeah.
And that's why it's a good marriage.
Yeah. You interpret the words really well, because I remember, you guys had so many amazing storylines, but one that for me personally was just so beautiful when I think back is when Marlena was ordained and she married her grandson, Will and Sonny. And it was a year before my husband and I got married in Pasadena, California. And it was everyone's first time at a gay wedding, including Patrick and me, so seeing that the first time for a gay wedding on Days of Our Lives was so huge. It was so huge, and it was well done. And I get a little emotional just thinking about it, because it's like me as a gay boy, grew up in a Catholic family, and like, wait a second, you're watching these two men come together getting married, and it's like, it really touched me. It really touched me, so I want to say that was just a beautiful, beautiful scene. And I want anyone who hasn't seen it, go on YouTube and watch it, because it's powerful, very powerful.
There was a lot to that, and I think that it was impactful for a lot of reasons. Sonny and Will, that just was, and it harkened back to Will coming out to Marlena, and just the floodgates of mail we got from that, from young men saying, "Oh, I'm going to have my mom watch the show because I didn't know how to tell her and I didn't know what to say," and it was so helpful and so huge.
Wow.
And a lot of it was Marlena's response to it.
Mm-hmm.
Because in addition to being, to your mother being surprised, she now had if she was surprised, she had a little bit of an inkling on, here's a way to handle that.
Yeah.
Here's how Marlena handled it. And it's okay if you handle it the same way.
Yeah,
because
it's true. Yeah, I think about my aunts and uncles who at the time really didn't accept me, but I'm like, and I know they watched Days of Our Lives. So I'm like, for them to see this, to see that, look, this is what is happening. This is who we are, and why are we hiding it? So to have a mainstream show deal with this issue that we're dealing with, it was just so beautiful. Do you think the Days audience has evolved on this issue of gay marriage? Do you think they've come around, like it's opened their mind and their hearts and saying, okay, I get it,
I do think that, because we didn't spring it on you.
Yeah.
You met Will, you got to love Will. He met Sonny. You went, that's interesting. What? Oh, what? Yeah. Wait, but you loved Will. You cared about what happened to him, and at the end of the day, you wanted to be happy. Yeah. And that marriage makes him happy. Oh my God. So we bring you along a little bit. It's really. It's a wonderful teaching medium, I think, daytime, because we have a long time to sit with you, and guide you down a certain road. And it's just delicious.
You grew up in a small town in Florida. I know you were inspired by your mom's friend, Sandy, that you wanted to be a hairdresser. And,
wow.
because I remember reading, I was like so touched. But then you said, you went to a community college in LA you want to study to be a therapist. And I know people like, well, you should be a model to make money to pay your school. Then someone said, well, you should do commercials because you'll make more money. And then someone said, you should do maybe some series on TV and you'll make even better money. So I'm wondering for you, when did it hit you that acting was where you needed to be, that you had this special talent inside, and that something had to tell you, yeah, I like this. Yeah, this is my gift, because we all have a gift, and that is your gift. So did a project or commercial or something hit you where you said, this is where I need to be?
Thank you for saying that. But it really was a matter of scheduling. I had my classes, I had my work schedule, and I just kept thinking, girl, I don't know where I'm going to get these projects done. I don't know what I'll just do this. I'll just do this soap opera job until I have my career. Yeah. Wow. And one day I said, wait a minute, you seem to have a career. And that was it. Wow. That was it.
Oh my God, I'm so glad you said yes to Marlena, because I know that when your agent came to you, you first said no because you thought other people, who you saw at the audition, they're like, oh, they were names. Like, well, if they didn't take it, I'm not going to take it. But then your agent came to you like a week later and said, listen, you were their first choice. And you're like, oh, okay. Sign me up then.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, I did. I had tested with some women and I went, oh, I recognize her. Oh, I recognize her. I thought, what am I doing here? Oh my gosh. I mean, this is a pretty hefty company. And true. So when I got the call, I thought, no, there's something wrong with this job, and everybody else turned it down. Well, I'm no dummy. I'm turning it down too. Sorry.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Oh my gosh. I know your father was strict with you growing up, because he would tell you either you get good grades or you're going to work at a laundromat. I remember.
Oh my gosh. How do you know all these things?
Yes. You know what? Because I adore you. I love you. And I want to make sure this is going to be a good interview, because I've been waiting for this for a long time. So I remember him saying that to you from reading. And then obviously you got good grades, because in 2016, you were honored with a star on Hollywood Boulevard, which is amazing. Do you think that 8-year-old girl who moved to Florida to be closer to her, her grandparents, do you think she could have ever imagined the life that you have today, sitting there on your porch in California, because you've worked so hard in your career? Do you think she could have ever imagined this?
It's so out of the realm of anybody's possibility.
Wow.
Making it in regular television is an impossible thing anyway. It just, what are those odds? Yeah. And nobody I knew was in show business. Nobody in our family was in show business. I had flirted with modeling at one point. I said to my mom, gosh, I'd kind of like to model. And believe me, I was not a candidate. And she said, oh, okay. And she said, well, you have to learn how to carry yourself, and you have to learn how to behave. There's a thing about models. And so she took me over to learn at the hands of a girl that I was in school with, that was always a homecoming queen, and always she was lovely, and she was, and she said she made me enter a beauty pageant. Oh my gosh. And she said, it's not, you won't win it, but it's so you can get in front of people, be on stage, learn how to carry yourself, learn how to express yourself. And then she taught me a number of little tricks about how to do that.
Wow.
And the tricks worked. And I went, wow, I don't have to be the prettiest girl. I can be the most composed, I can be the warmest, I can be the funniest, I can be a number of things. It isn't about how you look anymore.
Oh my God.
And that was a life lesson.
Wow.
Yeah.
I could see, watching all these interviews of you, I could see, because you are so posed, so beautiful. I mean, and I said this when we started, I mean, Deidre, you absolutely look gorgeous. And every person who I said that you were going to be our guest today, they kept saying, she doesn't change. What does she do? Blah, blah, blah. Like, you really, you're just, not just outside, but inside, you're truly a beautiful person.
Yeah, you're so sweet. Thank you.
God, please. Your identical twin sister, Andrea, obviously, who played your evil twin, Samantha, on Days of Our Lives, okay? You two have such a special gift, because on your website, DeidreHall.com, you have these beautiful watercoloring cards, okay? And I know that you have been studying this. You would take classes 4 days a week. You took classes on Saturday with your teacher, Pamela. What were you how did you get so drawn to watercoloring? Was it something you saw? Was it something you talked about with your sister and say, hey, we should be doing this? Like, how did that come about? Because I'm just curious.
It was kismet. I was walking down Montana. I looked into a little shop, and they had some cards displayed, and I thought, watercolor, and I love the look of it. I'd seen watercolor before, of course, but somehow it drew me in, and I went in and I looked at a number of cards, and the cards that I picked to purchase. When I went to check out, I said, "Who paints these?" Oh, it's a local artist. It's a local artist, yeah. And they were all from the same woman, and I got her name, and I began taking her classes, and then it was just, I couldn't get enough of it. It's a passion.
God, it's a passion, all right. You know what's so cool? When you were on the TV Guide this past summer, you and Drake were on the front cover, and here it is. And the coolest thing about you, I want people to know, is that you were allowing people to send you in the TV Guide, and you were signing it, you were autographing it. I mean, who does that in Hollywood? And that just goes to show you what a kind, generous heart you have. You really do. So that's just so cool that you were doing that for your fans, really.
Oh, Paula, it's probably the audience we have. We have a fiercely loyal, dedicated, a patient audience. And to be able to do something, I mean, that was sort of a one-off event. Easy for me, send me a self-addressed stamped envelope. How easy is that? But it was so special to them, and it was nice to celebrate that with them.
Wow, it's just so cool, because I remember I interned at General Hospital in the year 2000, and back then I was in charge of distributing fan mail to the actors, and then I went on the hotline and took messages and gave it to the producers so they know what was happening. But today it's like they just go on your social media, on your Facebook, and tell you, this is how they feel about your scene. It's just, the time has changed, and you've been doing so good, because not only do you do this, but you write back to people on your social media, on Facebook. Like, you're just so good with it. So I know I speak for all the fans.
I just my son David is home from he graduated college and is home for a bit, and he said, well, what are you doing with your Instagram? I said, well, I don't know. He said, oh, you're just okay. So I'm getting very knowledgeable about Instagram and how to post and how to be current. And you don't have to write a whole letter. It's a snapshot of what happened today, a line here, a line there. So let me invite your audience to join me on Instagram.
That's so awesome. Okay, so we're going to end it. In honor of you being a guest on our show, A Spoonful of Paulo, we are going to be donating $200 to Wounded Warrior Project, because I know how much this means to you.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Have you seen my watercolor Wounded Warrior cards?
Yes, of course I have. And I knew that the donation, some of it goes to this. So I'm like, I want to contribute, because I think what you stand for is just so beautiful. So yeah, I just want to say thank you. Really, thank you for that. So this is for you.
No. Thank you for that. The back of the card, actually 100% of the proceeds of that card go to Wounded Warriors, because they gave 100% to us.
Yeah.
So that's why it goes to Wounded Warriors.
You're so, and look, they're happy for you too. Okay, they know. All right, Deidre, I have to say, just thank you, because I've been waiting for this moment, and it means so much to me, because you're as kind as I could ever have imagined, and so beautiful. And I only wish you the very best, because you deserve every ounce of success that comes your way. Okay, so thank you.
I'm lucky and blessed and deeply grateful. Call me anytime.
Oh my God. Okay, don't say that. Okay. I love you. Enjoy your day. And we love watching Days of Our Lives Monday through Friday. You're awesome. Okay. Mwah. Love you, Deidre.
Thanks, Paolo.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye. Bye.
If I didn't know better, I'd say, are you stalking?
No.
Know all that stuff.